Castlevania 3. We are back. Level 6, Block 1. I strongly considered just totally skipping making a video out of this one. Because I'll spoil it for you. I do not make it through the level in this video. So if you're looking for a video in which I make it all the way through to a boss and defeat that boss, you better go to the next video. If you are just sitting around doing something else, and this is on in the background, perfect. Because this is just pathetic to watch. And this is what I go through every time on a level. This, I wish I had read more about this game before I started playing through it, and I'm sure I will, I'll start to read more and play a lot more of it as time goes on. Because it's so imaginative, the game. Going through that map right now, we're still approaching the Castle of Dracula, and we took the route that brings us to death with Alucard. I still hadn't at this time figured out how to use Alucard's change into a bat ability. I know how to do it now. Look for that coming soon. Right now he throws these really weak projectiles. Anyway, I took the path that brings me kind of a long and difficult way underground. Right now I'm in some caverns and catacombs, coming up to the cliffside of Dracula's castle. The easy way brings me to a different character besides Alucard here, and brings me across on a haunted pirate ship right to his castle. You see quite a few cheap deaths in this video of the knocking the character off of those platforms into the water. And I actually, when playing this live, I dropped some creative words that I should not repeat on the internet, which I usually don't do, even with dying all the time in these games. And again, the Game Genie was invaluable in this. Up we go. I have one health bar left, but at least I got to see the next area. If you're wondering why there are so many more video game clips on the blog now than anything else, it's because there just isn't a whole lot going on this last week, but I like to generate that content, and these are just fun to put together. I think my live playing days are over with these. I'm finding myself preferring the post-play commentary. I get to be a little more thoughtful about what I think and say, and I can devote more attention to playing the game and trying to make it through, and I stop complaining about emulator lag. Because when I play them live and they're being recorded, there's a good amount of that lag, and you don't have to hear me complain about it. You can just usually see me die as a result of it. Oh, the mummies take me out. Then I don't have to worry about audio problems not lining up after the lag has hurt me. And you get to see a lot of this level. Anyway, on the moving front, there just isn't a lot happening right now. We're both waiting to finish up our things here, our professional things here. I'm keeping the great jettison posts going, but I don't want to run out of those too quickly. We'll have another big round of jettisoning coming up here soon, a little farther into April 2013. We're starting to plan our road trip, which will be the way that we spend our month between closing on the home and making the move. We're also working on our flight, getting that booked and set, going over to Dublin, our one-way ticket going to Dublin. Planning the road trip has been a lot of fun. We've done just the first couple of stages of it. Here we get a nice fun drop here. There we go. Look at that. I think that's what made me drop a creative bit of language when playing this. just got... Oh man, that's frustrating. Maybe that's when I dropped the creative bit of language. We're just kicking some dates around on the road trip and going over some places that we want to visit. We're looking at national parks. We're looking at visiting family members. We're going to try to max out our number of nights with family members and do hotel stays only when necessary and try to do camping the rest of the way. So we're looking at Google Maps and going, what's a good day's driving between point A and point B? And we find something like, oh, somewhere in the middle of Texas there's some state park or something that we need to look up and make sure they have a place that we can stay. There I fell victim to the slow controls, and I'm very curious to see on this game what it feels like on the NES. I actually had a copy of this NES game in my hand at a pawn shop at one time, but it was $15, and I had never played it before. I'd only played the first Castlevania. I still never had it. I didn't get it there. I'm just curious to see if the controls are any tighter with Trevor here if you're on the console. I assume that they are, because my USB controller, I assume, is a little bit slower than the NES controller in an emulator, which you're always going to have that. The emulator experience is inferior to the console experience, especially if you're skilled at the game. If you're horrible at the game and you need to use save states and Game Genie codes and everything else here like I do, then the emulator is definitely your way to go. And certainly making these videos will be a lot easier with those tools. Again, I made it to the top screen. There's still no food in there, buddy. Still no food. If we get another look at the big map screen, which we will here soon, we can describe a little bit more of it. But again, I wish I had looked up more of this before I started playing the game so I could think about when I'm playing through these levels, where am I? In the first level, you're in a village, but I'd never noticed because I was always just looking at the enemies I was fighting. I'm in. Oh yeah, sure, there's buildings, but whatever. Some of that also may have been included in the manual. That, of course, I don't have, but I did look at a PDF of the manual to this game with the cartoony characters and stuff that was pretty lame, especially a game of this gravity and this weight. The manual had some pretty junky stuff, but all NES manuals at the time were. I shouldn't say all. There were a few gems I remember that had really detailed, helpful manuals, besides the warning not to clean your cartridge with benzene, which I thought was a fun word when I was a kid. Made it to the third area. Still in 6 block 2 though, which means that if I die here, I will go back to where we started this video, and every other death since this video, just like that.